Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start row 35. We're going to chain 1 and turn, and now we'll be on the back side of our work. Alright, we're going to start off by working 3 double crochets into this first stitch. Now, for me, I always have to be careful when I'm working in the half doubles. Like I said, I just don't like half doubles that well. It's hard for me to see the stitch, so we want to make sure and try to keep count of this row. What we're going to do is we put 3 doubles into that first stitch, and then we had 3 half doubles, right? And we're going to put 1 double into the next stitch, and then the other half double, I don't know, it must be this. Anyways, so yeah, three doubles into the first stitch, and then we had 2 half double, 2 after, right? Because we put, yeah. All right, so you'll have 5 total there. And then we chained 1 after, so I'm gonna put 1 into this chain 1 space, like that. All right, I guess that's correct. I feel kind of silly. I just not very good at half doubles. All right, now I'm gonna put 1 into the top of the puff, double crochet, and then 1 into the next chain space, double crochet. So we're just doing a row double crochet. I gotta do rows of double crochet every so often to kind of even things out and get a required number for the next set of stitches that I'm going to do. So like I said, I try not to repeat too many rows, but every once in a while I do gotta add a row double to get my stitch count. So as you can see, I'm putting double into the chain 1 space and then double on top of the puff, and I'm going to do this all the way down until we get to the point of the shawl, like this. All right, I'll meet down there with you at the point. I'm going to make sure and keep count of all these stitches here. All right, so I come to my chain 2 space, and I just did my double crochet on top of this puff. So let's go into this chain 2 space here, and let's work 2 doubles, a chain 2, and 2 doubles into this space. So there's my 2 doubles. Let's do a chain 2, and then 2 more doubles back in. So there is our point. And now we just need to repeat this on the opposite side, making a mirrored image. All right, so first stitch is on top of the first puff right here, and then in the chain 1 space, and then on top of the puff. Now you want to repeat this until we get to the end, and let's keep track of our stitches this round, so we can try to make sure that we have the correct amount. All right, see you at the end. All right, I'm coming to the end of the row here, and we want to make sure we do the same thing on this side that we did on the other. So we went and double crocheted into this chain space here, and then into, I was assuming that was a stitch there, like that, and then 1 into the next, and then 3 into the last. And then I'm going to switch colors on my last one. Now, before I do that though, what you should have now when you count after you finish that, after you finish your 3 doubles here, you on this side all the way to your to the chain 2 space, don't count the chain 2 space, you should have 101 stitches, and then on this side you should have 101 as well. So total it would be 202, but and then the chain 2 space, but 101 on each side at the end of this row. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and switch my colors out real quick. Row 36. So all right, so we're gonna chain 1 and turn our work. So we're going to be working a puff stitch flower. So it's going to take a few rows to complete that. Actually, this first row right here, this row of double crochet we did was actually is actually part of it. Had checked the correct stitch count with that, so it is part of it. So, well, enough talk, huh? Let's just do it. All right, so we're going to start out with 2 double crochets into the very first stitch. So there's 1 and there's 2 doubles. All right, now we're going to be working puff stitches, kind of like on this row. They're all going to be like on your hook at once, so we're going to be going through a lot of loops. Now I'll show you how we're going to do it. So we're going to yarn over and go into the next stitch and draw up a loop. And we want to do that 3 times. So that was once. We're going to do it again. Yarn over and go into the same stitch, draw up a loop. That's 2 times. And one more time, yarn over and go into the same stitch. That's 3 times. Now you want to make sure you don't get them too tight on your hook, because we're going to put more loops on our hook. So with all those loops on our hook, we're going to skip 1 stitch and we're going to go to the next and do another puff. So we're going to yarn over, skip this stitch and go to the next, draw up a loop, and we need to do that 3 times. So that was 1, there's 2, and there's 3. So we have 2 puffs now. We need a total of 5, and we have to skip a stitch in between, so it gets a little bit cramped. But let's do it again. We're going to yarn over, skip 1 stitch, and in the next one we're going to make another puff. So we got to do it 3 times. That's 1, 2, and 3. So there's 3 puffs. 3 puffs. Okay. Again, we're going to yarn over. We have to skip 1 and go to the next and make our puff again. So that's, and do it. Okay. It takes 3 times to make the puff. So that's 1. Yarn over again is 2. One more time, it makes 3. All right, like that. We got to do 1 more puff, because you can see we have 4 on our hook. I find it easiest. Now this is probably maybe the trickiest part of the whole thing, but it's not even really tricky. I keep my thumb firmly right here on the gripper. That way none of the puffs can go past my thumb, and it's easier to go through them all. If you start to let them slide down, it gets real hard. So just kind of keep them cramped up as close to the hook that you can get them and still be able to use the hook. But we got 1 more to do, because you can see we got 1, 2, 3, 4, but for this row we need 5. So we're going to yarn over, and we have to skip 1 stitch and go to the next and go into it and draw up a loop. We need to do that 3 times. That's 1. That's 2. 1 more time. That's going to make 3. Now you got 5 puffs on your hook. We need to yarn over and go through all the loops on our hook like that. See that? It's not really that hard. You'll get the hang of it. And then kind of pull it a little bit like that. Not like extremely hard, but like that. And then we're going to chain 5 times. So 1 to lock them all into place. See that? And 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So 5 total we did. 5 chains. The 1 to lock it in place, and then 4 more. Now what we're going to do is put a single crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. So just go directly to the next stitch and single crochet. So that's 1. The next one is 2, and the next one makes 3. Okay, so that's kind of what we're going to do. So we got half of our first puff. As you can see, we'll have to do the other half on the next row. But so what we're going to do is do another puff. So we're going to start by slip stitching into the next stitch, and this is where we will put our first puff of the 5 that we need. So just go ahead and drop a loop like that and yarn over and go back into that same spot and do your puff. So that's 1 time, 2 times, and that's 3 times. So we got 1 puff going on. So again, we have to yarn over, skip 1 stitch and go to the next and puff 1 time, same stitch, 2 times, same stitch, and that's 3 times. Again, yarn over, you skip 1 stitch, go to the next and puff. There's 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. So we got 3 puffs. Again, yarn over and we skip 1 and go to the next to make our 4th puff. And 1 more time, yarn over, make sure you skip 1, and then the next one will make our 5th puff. I know it's a lot of loops, isn't it? We can do it. You got this, don't worry. And just yarn over and go through all of them at once like that. See? You got it. You got it. You can do it. Even if it takes you, 20 tries. Just keep doing it. I promise you'll get it. Just don't pull too tight, or it kind of, like I'm doing, I think I'm pulling too tight. But anyways, there. And then we're going to do our chain 5. So the first one is to lock into place, and then that was 1. Here's 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there is half of our second puff flower. So again, we're going to single crochet directly into the next 3 stitches. So there's 1. I don't like how loose that's getting. Yeah, I might have to fix that. But anyways, 2, do 2 or 3 single crochets in a row. There's 2 and there's 3. And then again, we're just going to repeat that until we get near the point. So we would slip stitch into the next stitch like that, and then we would start our puff again by just drawing up a loop and puffing into this stitch, and and then we would skip 1, puff into the next, skip 1, puff into the next, skip 1, puff until you get 5 puffs. Go through them all, chain 5 and single crochet in the next 3, and then slip stitch in the next to start another puff. So it's pretty easy once you get it down. Like I said, I'm going to redo this one because I'm not liking the look at that one. I think I pulled too tight. But go ahead and do that until you get near the point, and I'll show you how many stitches you should have left, and what we'll do around the point. All right, I'll meet you down there. All right, we're coming to the end here. So if your piece is puffing up like this, that's fine. It's going to do that. We're not going to worry about that. We'll take care of that later. We'll take care of that. But you should have 8 of these half puffs now on this one side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm going to try to round this corner doing a puff. All right. You don't know what's going to happen unless you try, right? So I did my 3 after my 8th puff. I chained my 5 and I did my 3 singles, and now I'm going to slip stitch into the next stitch, and this is where we're going to start our puff. Like I said, I'm going to try to see what happens around in this corner. I don't know what it's going to look like, but all right, let's go ahead and put our first puff right here into the stitch that we just slip stitched into. Okay, and we're gonna skip one, puff in the next, okay, skip one, and we're going to be in our chain 2 space. Do you know what I'm actually going to do here? I think we're going to do, since we're working around a corner, I think maybe we'll do, we're going to do 6 puffs, all right, instead of 5. So we're going to put 2 puffs in this chain 2 space, so, but right together with each other. So we're skipping this one, and we have 2 puffs on a hook already, all right? So we skip this, and we go into the chain 2 space, and let's work a puff. There's 1, 2, and 3. But there's really not going to be any defining, like, difference between them. It's kind of like a one big puff. That's okay. Let's try to see what happens. So let's do it again. 3, 1, 2, 3. I guess you can call it 5 puffs, but one of them's huge. It's 2 puffs together. All right. And now we're gonna go. Let's see. Did we skip a stitch here? I can't remember. We did. All right. So we're gonna skip this stitch, and then so skip the next stitch and puff into the next. I don't know what's gonna happen here. It may not work out. And then we have to do 1, 2. I'm just going to count that as one big puff, all right? So we'll have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do one more. We skip one, and then puff in the next, and that will be 5. Well, yeah, 4 normal ones and 1 giant one. All right, like that, and then we're gonna go through all of them. My gosh. All right, and then I'm not gonna pull too tight. I think that's what's making my thing. We have to work back in this hole in the next round, so it's okay if it's open a bit. But and so that was we're gonna chain 5. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's see how that looks. I don't think it looks too awfully bad, considering it is the corner, and the corners are always a little different, I guess. I don't know. Trying to justify what I just single crochet into the next 3 stitches. So here's where we put our last puff. Into the next one we single. I'm justifying what I just did. I actually don't know if it's even going to work out till I do the other half of the puff. Let me look at it. Hey, I'm gonna roll with it. Let's do it. Let's do it. We'll make it work in the end, right? If it looks funny after it's done, and then we'll just fix the next row to make it where it doesn't look funny. That's how we do it. It doesn't always work out the way that you intended, but then you can just wiggle around your next row to make the row that you just did look better. Well, most of the time. I guess you can't all the time, but most of the time. So let's just repeat what we did on the other side now. So we're going to slip stitch here into the next one and work our puff in the same way that we've been working them. So we're just going to mirror this side with the other side. On next one. That 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, that's a lot of puffs. Alrighty, there they are. Do my chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and single crochet into the next 3 stitches. So we're just going to repeat this until we get near the end of the row. We'll have our 8 puffs on each side, and then that one that I'm trying to round the corner with, I don't know, we'll see. But I'm going to continue this, and I'll meet up with you at the end of this row. I'm going to keep this color on my hook though. Alright, so I'm coming to the end here, and here's how we're going to end it. Let's see. So I did my 5 puffs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which left me 1 stitch left, is what we had on the other side. Yes, I do believe. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and end. Now we're not going to, I just did 1 chain to lock it because we're going to have to work back in that hole. And now I'm just going to directly go into our last stitch here. Like that. You know what I think I'm going to do? Let's do a 3 chain. There, we did the 1 to lock it, and then 2 more after that for a total of 3. Now let's jump to, it's a little different than the other side, but we ended differently. So let's go ahead and put 3 doubles, or 2 doubles, I'm sorry, into the last stitch here. And we're gonna keep, I'm gonna keep this collar on the hook. I'm gonna turn the work, chain 1 and turn, and now we will be on the, what are we on now? The back side. All right, so if you look at your piece, you're gonna notice that it's flipping and flopping and curling and whatnot. Let's hope we can fix that, right? That's all we can hope for, is that we get it fixed. Maybe. All right, let's do this. Okay. All right, so we're on row 37, and yes, we are on the back side of our work. All right, why don't we go ahead and start then with, let me look at the football. I haven't been watching my top edge too much because I know that we can take care of any minor problems. I think we'll keep that at 2 doubles here into this very first stitch. All right, on this one. Yeah, 2 doubles. So there's 1 and there's 2, and then we have another double here. Let's go ahead and just double crochet into that one as well. All right, now we're going to do the other half of the puff. So why don't we start off with the chain? We're going to do a chain 1. And we're going to do this one a little bit different. We're not going to have all those loops on our hook, all right? We're just going to be doing 1 puff at a time. Now we're going to be working it into the eye here of the puff, that very first chain 1 space. So we're going to make the puff the same size. We're going to yarn over. We're going to go into it and draw up a loop, and we're going to do that 3 times. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And yarn over and go through all the loops like that. Now, see, we just did the 1 puff and then we yarned over. Now what we're going to do is a chain of 2. 1, 2. And then we're going to repeat that again. So we're going to go back into the same spot again and do another puff. 1, 2, 3. And yarn over and go through those loops. Like goodness, like that. And then again we're going to do a chain of 2. So we want to do this for a total of 4 puffs on the top. So we got 2, and it's 4 puffs with chain 2s in between them. So we're going to go back and do number 3. There's 1, 2, 3. And then chain 2, and we got 3 puffs. All right, 1 more here, and we'll finish out. 1, 2, 3. Yarn over and go through all there. So we got the 5 on the bottom and then the 4 on the top, but they got the chain 2s in between them. Now we're going to chain 2 after this last one. 1, 2, and then what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet into these 3 single crochets from the previous row. So just go right into them and single crochet. 1, 2, and 3, like that. And we're going to kind of repeat this. This is what we're going to repeat. So let's do it again. So when we're over here, we're going to chain 1 when we're, by the chain 5 space here. And then we're going to go into the eye of the star, and we need to work our puff stitches one at a time though. We don't do them all, remember? But they're still worked the same. But we chain 2 in between them. So there's 1 and there's 2. Back through. That's 2 puffs, chain 2. Three puffs, chain 2, and we got 1 more to put in this spot for a total of 4. And we chain 2 at the end of that last puff, and then we come down here to these 3 single crochets and put 1 single crochet in each of them. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And this is what we're going to repeat until we get to that the point. I don't know what we're going to do there, but we'll figure something out. So we're just going to chain 1 here on this side, and we do our 4 puffs with chain 2s in between them. Make sure you chain 2 after the last puff, and do your 3 single crochets, and we're going to repeat that. All right, so it's gonna look something like this, but we're not done yet. But yeah, something like this. And I'll meet up with you at this point. Let's see if we can get that to look normal, kind of. See you in a second. All right, so we've made it to this corner here. Well, let's see what we can do. So I did my 3 single crochets. I'm going to go ahead and chain 1, and then I'm going to be working into this space, and let's do a puff, chain 2, another puff. We're at the point, not the corner, I'm sorry. That's 2 puffs in there. Another one. Chain 2. And we're going to do another one for 4 puffs. And chain 2. Let me look at one thing here. So we got 1, 2, 3. Is that gonna lay flat if we left it like that? You know what? I think that's gonna be okay. Yeah, I do. I think I'll just do the 4. So if you made that one at the bottom extra big, yeah, we're just gonna do it like the other ones. So I did the 4 puffs with the chain 2s in between them. Chain 2 after my last one. Now this is the point of the poncho, and we're gonna go in single crochet into the next 3 single crochets. Now we're just going to repeat the pattern again on the other side till we get near the end, or till we get to the end, and I'll meet back up with you there. Chain 1 here, and come and do my 4 puffs here with chain 2s in between them. Alright, so remember, we're just mirroring this side like we did the other side, and we're just going to hope for the best with that corner. Now, I think when we go back around it with the final row of this puff stitch, it will be okay. I hope. See you in a second. Alrighty, I made it to the end, and I did my 4 puffs here in this last spot. I chained 2 after the last one, and then what I'm going to do is this, skip this chain here. I'm going to put 1 double into the next stitch, like that, and then 2 doubles into the last. I am going to switch colors here. I put 2 doubles in my last stitch, but on this one I'm going to switch. And what I'm going to do is switch back to this color because I'm going to be doing some drop singles to try to connect the space in between here, hopefully, to make it look a little bit more connected like it is supposed to. So I'm going to go ahead and switch colors real quick. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start row 38. So we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we will be on the front side of our work now. Alrighty. Let's see what we're going to do. Why don't we go ahead and put 2 doubles into the first stitch. There's 1. There's 2. And 2 doubles, 1 in each of, or 1 double in each of the next 2. There's 1. And the next one. Alrighty. And then we have this chain 2 space here. Let's put 2 doubles in that one. 1, 2, and then the next chain 2 space in between the puffs. Let's put 2 doubles into that one. And in between, or in the chain 2 space, 2 doubles. Alright, chain 2 space again, 2 doubles. Let's see. Yeah, alright. Chain 2 space down here, 2 doubles. It's that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a drop double crochet. We're going to do it, so these 3 single crochets are right here. We're not going to go into them. We're actually going to go into the 1, 2, 3 rows down, the double crochet 3 rows down, but we're going to drop double down there. So we're going to yarn over and just bypass these 2 single crochets and go into the double crochet down here from the first row, and let's do a double crochet, and then we're going to do it again into the next, where the next single crochet is. We're just going to drop past those 2 and go into the same stitch as that first single crochet and double crochet, and then one more time the single and this single, we're going to go in the same stitch as that first single, or in that double crochet from that row down there, and double crochet into that. Now I know it doesn't cover it perfect, but it kind of helps tie it in a little bit better, I guess. Alright, and then we will start again. Let's do 2 doubles here, and 2 doubles into the next chain 2 space. Just going to repeat this, kind of putting 2 double crochets in each of these chain 2 spaces here in between the puffs. like that, and then 2 doubles down here. And then we're at our 3 single crochets again. So remember, we're just gonna drop double down. So we're not going into that single, and here's a single here. We're going into the double crochet, 3 rows down, and we're going to double crochet into that once, and then we're going to go to the next one, 2 rows down, and double crochet into that one once, and then the third single crochet here, we're going to do the double crochet, 3 rows down, and there's 3 double crochets there we did. Yeah. Now, as you can see, it's got that way to it. That's okay. Okay. It's going to have that. But we will take care of that and get that straightened out. So we're just going to repeat this. We're going to be putting 2 doubles and 2 doubles here, 2 doubles here, 2 doubles here, 2 doubles here, 2 doubles here. And then we drop double where these 3 singles are. 3 times. Drop double, drop double, drop double. And then we begin again. 2 doubles, 2 doubles, 2 doubles, and every one of these chain spaces, 2 doubles, 2 doubles, and then your 3 drop doubles. And let's do that until we get to the point of our shawl. All right. And remember, the fact that it's wavy is just fine. We'll get that taken care of. Okay. All right. I'll see you at the point. Alright, so I've made it to the point of the shawl, and you know, I'm not going to do anything different here. So I just did my 3 drop doubles, and I'm just going to go around this putting 2 double crochets in each of the chain spaces, and then I'll work on making it more of a point later. Right now it's just round, I guess. It's not a point, but it's alright. So I'm putting 2 doubles in each of the chain spaces around the point of the shawl, just the same as all the other ones. Just like that. Let's see, we got one more. 2 doubles here. And then we'll do our 3 drop doubles where our single crochets were. There's 1. And there's 2. And there's 3. There we go. That's the corner. So as you can see, it's very wavy. Like I said, we'll fix that. So I'm just going to continue doing the same thing we're doing. 2 double crochets in each of the chain spaces, and 3 drop doubles down, 3 to the 3rd row below where the 3 single crochets are. And I will meet back up with you at the end of this row. Alright, I'm coming to the end here, and we're going to end it the same way we started the other row. So, you know, I put 2 double crochets in each of the chain spaces, and then I have three stitches left, that looks like. Double crochet in the next 2. So there's 1 double crochet, and then 1 double crochet. And then, did we put 3 in the beginning? No. 2 double crochets into the last. I'm going to switch colors here. So 2 double crochets in the last. There's 1. And on this last one, I am going to switch to a blue, I suppose. Alright, I'm going to get that switched up. Alright, so that was row 38 that we just finished. So we're going to go ahead and start row 39. We're going to chain 1 and turn, and we should be on the back side of our work now. Alright. Alright, so we're just going to put one double crochet. Let me look here. Yeah. We're going to put one double crochet back in the very first stitch. Just one double. And now what we're going to do here is, in the beginning here, we're going to, okay, you see the sets of 2 double crochets that we put in the chain spaces? And then, like, there's like a spot in between them, right? So we got one spot, and then there's 2. Here's where we put 2. This is a spot number 2, and then we put 2 doubles. Spot number 3, and then we put 2 doubles. Spot number 4, and then we put 2 doubles. Spot number 5 right here, and then we went down into the single crochets. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of where we put 2 double crochets in the chain spaces, right? Why don't we work in the, okay, so we're gonna work 1, 2, 3. Here's the third set over of 2 double crochets in this chain space, and we're going to be working in between those 2 double crochets. All right, but what I'm going to do is a chain. I'm going to do a chain of, let's see, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's just do a chain of 5. All right, and again, like I said, you see that there's the 5 groupings of the 2 sets of double crochets that we put in the chain spaces before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now in the middle group of of 2, in between those 2 stitches, we're just going to single crochet. All right, we're not going into the top of the stitch or anything, just like right in between the stitches, like that. All right, and then we have a chain 5 here. Now what we're going to do is chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are going to double crochet in each of these 3 drop doubles from the previous row. So there is 1, 2, and 3. Alright. Looks a bit tight there, but we'll be able to loosen that up on the next row. And we're going to kind of repeat this till we get to the point. So again, we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have to look at the chain spaces from the row below, and we worked 2 double crochet in 5 of the chain spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Find that third one. 1, 2, 3. And those 2 doubles, we don't work in the top of them, but right in between them. Just go right in between the stitches and single crochet like that. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 5. Oh, and then we're going to do a double crochet right down here in the 3 drop doubles from the previous row. So there's 1, and there's 2, and there's 3. And this is gonna kind of what we're gonna repeat down. Again, we're gonna chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have to gather up here the 5 chain spaces from the row below. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in that third one, which would be the middle one, 1, 2, 3, there'll be 2 double crochets in between the 2 doubles, not in the top of the stitches, but in between. We single crochet like that, and we repeat. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to do a double crochet in each of these drop doubles from the previous row. So let's go ahead and repeat this pattern until we get to the point of the shawl, and that is where I will meet up with you, and we'll see how we can round that point out, or go around that point like that. Alright, so I have made it to the point here. So here is 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the center puff here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one. So this would be the point right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do my chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now in this point right here, I'm still going to be working in between those 2 double crochets like we have been. I want to work 3 single crochets though, instead of 1. 1, okay, in the same spot. 2 and 3. So that's going to be the point now. It's 3 single crochets there. So now you can tell that that's the point. Alright, and then we're just going to start again. Going along this side, doing the same thing. So we just chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and double crochet in these 3 drop doubles from the previous row. 1, 2, and 3. And then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then remember we have to find our 5th from the previous down here, the chain spaces. 1, or we have to find the 3rd out of the 5. So 1, 2, 3. Here's the 2 double crochets that are in that one. Go in between them and single crochet. So I'm doing the same thing that I did on the other side. Remember, we're mirroring the sides. So I'll meet back up with you when we make it back to the end. Alright, I'm coming to the end of row 39 here. So I did my single crochet here in my last middle stitch, you know, my last puff here like we've been doing. Now we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to put 1 double crochet into the very last stitch. Now we're going to chain 1 and turn our work, and we will be on row 40, front side of our work now. Okay, I'm keeping this color on my hook as well. Alright, let's go back into this first stitch here, and we're going to work 2 double crochets into this spot. So there's 1, and there's 2. Now we're going to work a chain of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to come on over here to the single crochet. And we're going to work a popcorn in the single crochet, but we're going to make it a bigger popcorn than we did last time. So we're going to go into it, and we're going to double crochet into this single crochet 6 times. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So remember, we're doing a popcorn, so we pull that up, go to the first double crochet of the 6 and put your hook into it, and then put this loop back on your hook and pull your main yarn down like that, and just pull that through like that. And now we're going to do a chain of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to jump over here to where there was these 3 double crochets. We're going to do a double crochet 5 together. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to yarn over and we're going to go into the chain space. That's this big chain space, but try to get it close to this double crochet as possible. So we're going to yarn over, go into the chain space and draw up a loop, and yarn over and go through the first 2 loops on your hook. And then you can pull it towards, there you go, toward your double crochets. Now we're going to yarn over and go into the first double crochet, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops. Yarn over and go into the next one, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops. Yarn over and go into the next one, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops. And then we're going to go into the chain space over here on the other side. Go into it, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops. And you should have 6 loops on your hook. Yarn over and go through all 6 loops. So what we did was a double crochet 5 together. We used the 3 double crochets, and then we did 1 in each side of the chain space. Now we're going to chain 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to jump over here to the single crochet, and we're going to do the popcorn stitch again that we just did. So we have to do 6 double crochets through this single crochet. There's 1. I'm not even in the single crochet. Sorry about that. Trying to get that. All right. 6 doubles into that single. There's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. Pull up a loop. So you got your 6 doubles in there. Go back into that first one and insert your hook. And then grab that loop, put it back on your hook. Pull down on your main yarn, and then pull that main yarn through that loop. There's your popcorn. And chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to come over here and do the double crochet 5 together again. So we're going to yarn over, and we don't go into the first double crochet. We go into the chain space next to the double crochet. Draw up a loop and yarn over and go through the first 2 loops like that. And then we're going to yarn over and go into the double crochet, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops. Again, yarn over and go into the next stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops, yarn over and go into the next stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops, and then the 5th one has to be on this side of the chain. So we yarn over and just go through the chain, draw up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2 loops, and you should have 6 loops that remain. Yarn over and go through all 6 of those loops, just like that. So you did your double crochet 5 together, and I always take the ones that are in the chain spaces and kind of push them up towards the other ones like that. And we're just going to repeat this. So we're going to chain 6 again. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we do our popcorn with the 6 double crochets. through here. And that's 1, 2, 3. Alright, there's 6. Pull up your loop. Go into the first of the 6, the double crochets, put the loop back on your hook, and then pull that loop through, and there is your popcorn. And again, you chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you do your double crochet 5 together, 1 in the chain space, and this would be 2, 3, 4, and 1 in this chain space would be 5, and then that's the repeat that you keep doing. And this is kind of what it starts to look like right here. All right, so I'll meet back up with you when we get to the point of the shawl. All right, so I made it to the point here of the shawl where we put 3 single crochets last time. So I just did this double crochet 5 together, then I chained 6. Now what we're going to do is 2 popcorns. All right, we're going to put 1 popcorn in the first single crochet of the 3. We're going to do the 6 double crochets into that first single crochet here of the 3. So there's 1, 2, 3. All right, there's 6. Grab your first one, pull her through. There's 1 popcorn. All right, now we're going to do a chain of, let's do a chain of 3. All right, and now we're going to skip the middle one, and in the last of the group of 3, we're going to do another popcorn in that single crochet. So we just skip that middle one there. There's 6. Alright, get your first one of the 6. Get that loop back on your hook and pull her through. Alright, there is our center now. So we got 2 popcorns with a chain 3 in the middle. Yeah. Alright, now we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to continue along on this side, business as usual. The same thing we did on this side, we're going to do it on this side. All right, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the row. All right, so I'm coming to the end of row 40, I do believe. All right, so I just did my last popcorn here, and now I got to do my chain of 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're gonna go ahead and end it excuse me, with 2 double crochets into the last stitch. I'm gonna change colors on my second double, so I'm gonna go into this one and we're gonna do 2 double crochets. If you're not changing colors, just work your 2 doubles. If you're changing colors, change it here on the second one. I think I need to go to, I'm going to go on purple. Alright. Alright. Row 41 now. Go ahead and chain 1. Turn our work. We'll be on the back side. Alright. Try to clean this up. Let's do, let's do 2 doubles onto the first stitch here. There's 1 and 2, and let's do a double and do the next double. All right, now we got this chain 6 here. Let's do we'll do 6 doubles through that chain space like this. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here is 6. And now we have to do one in the popcorn. I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. So we're on the back side of the popcorn. Now if you look on top of it, you can see kind of where it wrapped around. There's like a little hole here at the top, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to yarn over, and what I like to do is, you see that hole here? Go up inside that hole there and right out the top like that, and then grab your yarn and pull it back through. There we go. And then double crochet. So we kind of just went into the top of that popcorn right there and double crochet. I'll show you again down here, but now we're going to do 6 double crochets in the chain space. So all the chain spaces get 6 doubles. Alrighty, there's 6. And it's okay if it doesn't go all the way to the end, because when you get your next row on, it'll straighten it out. Alright, now we have this double crochet 5 together thing that we did. And let's do the double crochet right here in the eye of it. Alright, so we're going to go into that and double crochet. Like that. Okay, we're not going to do anything there, because that's not really anything. We're going to jump to the next chain space and do 6 doubles again. Alrighty, there's 6. Okay, I'll show you how to do that popcorn one more time. So again, you see, you'll have to come out that, but we're going to go in this little hole here. So yarn over like this, and just kind of go up through that hole and out the top of your popcorn like that. Actually, I'm not going to get, there we go, like that. So you can see you're kind of right through it. And then grab your yarn, pull it back through, and then you just do your double crochet. Just like that. So this is what we're going to repeat till we get to the center point down there. So it says 6 double crochets in the chain spaces. And then every chain space. And then we do 1 double crochet right here in the eye of this cluster here. We don't do anything there. 6 double crochets, and then there's 6 double crochets in every popcorn. Remember, you yarn over and you go through the bottom and out the top. Grab your yarn, pull it back through, and then you do your double crochet. All right. Okay, I'm gonna see it down here at the point. All right, so I made it to my point here. This is the chain 2 space. Excuse me. So I went into the bobble and I double crocheted, or this is a chain 3 space, something like that. Anyway, so let's go into this space and let's work 2 doubles like that, and then we'll chain 2 and then go back into the same space and work 2 more doubles. 1, and there is 2. There we go. That'll be our point. All right, so now we're just gonna, you know, more the same on the other side. So go through this popcorn here. We find it. This one looks mangled up. What did I do to you, popcorn? There you are. Double crochet, and then just continue what we did on the other side, on this side. 6 in the chain spaces, and then 1 in the eye of this. Double crochet 5 together. You know what to do, and I'll see you at the end of the show. All right. All right, I'm coming to the end of row 41. I did my 6 doubles, and then I'm going to put a double crochet. We got 2 stitches left. I'm going to double crochet into the next one, and 2 doubles into the last. I'm going to switch colors though on this row, so on my second double. So there's 1, and then I'm going to put another double here and change colors. Go into green or bluish green. All right, let me change that up.